we're demonstrating a phone session, so that's what we're doing back to back, is so that I can't see you. And so imagine that you've emailed me and I've emailed you and I've sent you the tapping points. And so we're now on the phone, or we've been on Skype and the video didn't work, so that we're doing it without seeing each other. Okay?
Yep.
So here we are, and you got my demonstration of the picture of the points.
Yep.
And you saw the 9-gamut video as well? Great. So have you got something that you wanted to work on?
Well, I've got a fear of public speaking in either small or large groups.
Yep. All right. So I just want to run through the points very quickly so that we know that you've got them.
Okay.
So we have the karate chop point, or the side of the hand point, which is that fleshy part under the little finger. Fleshy part of the side of the hand. You've got that?
Yep.
Then the top of the head is like you're a puppet on a string, right in the middle of the top of the head.
Yep, got that.
Good. And then the eyebrow is the start of the hairs of the eyebrow above the nose. And then the next one is the corner of the eye, right on the bone there. And then the bone under the pupil.
Yep.
And then the fleshy part under the nose. And then the crease of the chin.
Yep.
And then the collarbone, if you follow your collarbone along to under your throat, you feel 2 little knobbles.
Yep.
And so you come down slightly diagonally outwards, just slightly, about 1 inch or 2 centimetres, and there's a little hollow there. And that's the collarbone point. Have you got that?
Yeah, I got that.
Good. And then under the arm, so you can go across the body or under the arm like a monkey. It's about 100 millimetres.
Yep.
Round about where the bottom of the brass strap is.
I got that.
Okay, so they're the main points. And if I forget to say the point and you think you need to move on, just move on. Or if you feel like you're getting lost and say, what point are we up to, just say that to me.
Okay.
All right. So let's just start tapping on the karate chop point. And so you say you have a fear of public speaking.
Yes.
Or being in front of people.
Yes.
So when was the first time that you can remember that happening? How old were you?
I actually, I can't really remember the first time.
Okay, so what about the worst time?
Well, I can remember the last time that I did it.
Yes, tell me about that.
I did a course, and at the end of the course we had to present. And so there was probably about 20 to 30 people in the class, similar to this, a setup that I have been in. And so we had to take it in turns to present. It was actually a meditation facilitation course, and we had to present a meditation class.
Okay.
And so I was the last one because I kept putting it off, not wanting to stand up because everyone was so good.
So you had to stand up and you were last,
yes,
and
yes.
everyone was so good.
Yes, they
and
were.
What was going through your mind?
Well, it's just, I'm not like them.
I'm not like them. Stop there. Where are you feeling it in your body? They're so good, and I'm not like them.
Well, it's just starting in my heart.
And what sort of feeling is it in your heart?
Just a heaviness or a pressure.
A heaviness and a pressure. What is it out of 10?
Probably about a 6.
Let's start tapping on that. Even though I've got this 6 out of 10 pressure in my heart.
Even though I've got this 6 out of 10 pressure in my heart.
When it was my turn to present.
When it was my turn to present.
They were so good.
They were so good.
I'm not like them.
I'm not like them.
I accept myself.
I accept myself.
And everything I'm feeling.
And everything I'm feeling.
Even though I've got this 6 out of 10 pressure in my heart.
Even though I've got this 6 out of 10 pressure in my heart.
When I think about presenting, I was last.
When I think about presenting, I was last.
Everyone else was so good,
Everyone else was so good,
and I'm not like them.
and I'm not like them.
I accept myself
I accept myself
and everything I'm feeling.
and everything I'm feeling.
Even though there was about 20 in the class,
Even though there was about 20 in the class,
and they were all so good,
and they were all so good,
and I was last,
and I was last,
and it was my turn to present,
and it was my turn to present,
and I'm not like them.
and I'm not like them,
And I feel it 6 out of 10, like pressure in my heart.
and I feel it 6 out of 10 pressure in my heart.
I accept myself deeply and completely.
I accept myself deeply and completely.
Top of the head, I'm not like them.
I'm not like them.
Eyebrow, I'm not like them.
I'm not like them.
Corner of the eye, they were so good.
They were so good.
Under the eye, they were all so good.
They were all so good.
Under the nose, they were all so good, and I'm not like them.
They were all so good, and I'm not like them.
Chin point, they were all so good.
They were all so good.
Collarbone, I can feel the pressure in my heart.
I can feel the pressure in my heart.
Under the arm, I can feel the pressure in my heart.
I can feel the pressure in my heart.
So take a deep breath. So what else is going on for you right now when you think about that? Has the pressure in the heart come down or changed or gone up, or has it shifted anywhere in the body?
It's probably gone down to a 5.
Mm-hmm. And what else have you noticed?
What would happen would be, I'd sweat.
Mhm.
I'd be
So-
nervous.
Yep.
My
so
hands would be,
tapping on the karate chop point. Even though I remember being really sweaty, my hands were sweaty
Even though I remember being really sweaty, my hands were sweaty.
in anticipation of speaking. Is that right?
Yes, in anticipation of speaking.
When it was my turn
When it was my turn
to present,
to present,
I accept myself
I accept myself
and the pressure in my heart
and the pressure in my heart
and my sweaty hands,
and my sweaty hands,
and I choose to process and release it.
and I choose to process and release it.
Even though I've got this 5 out of 10 pressure in my heart
Even though I've got this 5 out of 10 pressure in my heart
and I'm starting to sweat
and I'm starting to sweat
because it's my turn to present,
because it's my turn to present,
and they were all so good,
and they were also good,
and I'm not like them.
and I'm not like them.
I release and let go
I release and let go
of that sweaty feeling,
of that sweaty feeling,
that anticipation,
that anticipation.
anticipation of being judged. Is that right?
Yes, anticipation of being judged.
Releasing and letting it go.
Releasing and letting it go.
Top of the head. This anticipation of being judged.
This anticipation of being judged.
That eyebrow, they were all so good.
They were all so good.
Corner of the eye, I'm not like them.
I'm not like them.
Under the eye, I'm starting to sweat.
I'm starting to sweat.
Under the nose, anticipation of my presentation.
Anticipation of my presentation.
Chin point, the pressure in my heart.
The pressure in my heart.
Collarbone, my hands are sweating.
My hands are sweating.
Under the arm, they're going to judge me, I'm not as good as them.
They're going to judge me. I'm not good as them.
Take a deep breath. So what's happening now? What's come up for you? Did you get another memory, or is it shifted in the body? What's there for you? What do you remember seeing?
Well, I just remember seeing myself
Mm-hmm.
standing there with everyone looking at me,
Mm-hmm.
and
Yep.
me not remembering anything. I was like a blob up there
Yep.
and stumbling through the words just to get through it, and
Mhm.
everyone looking at me thinking that they were probably there to help me, but
But you made it mean your thoughts, your beliefs were.
that I can't do this. I'll never be good in
Mhm.
front of people.
Tapping on the karate chop point. Even though I think I'll never be good at this,
Even though I think I'll never be good at this,
I can remember their eyes looking at me. I felt like a blob. Keep tapping. That's what I interpreted it anyhow. Even though they were probably trying to help me, I accept myself deeply and completely.
I accept myself deeply and completely.
even though I interpreted it
Even though I interpreted it,
that they were judging me
that they were judging me,
and that I couldn't do this.
that I couldn't do this.
I couldn't remember the names, the words.
I couldn't remember the words.
I felt like a blob,
I felt like a blob.
but it was just the fight or flight response.
But it was just the flight or fight response.
And the blood was draining from my frontal cortex.
And the blood was draining from my frontal cortex.
So of course I couldn't remember anything.
Of course I couldn't remember anything.
I accept myself
I accept myself
and the fight or flight response.
and the fight or flight response.
And my belief I created
And my belief I created
that I can't do this.
that I can't do this.
And I choose to process and release it.
And I choose to process and release it.
Top of the head, they were all looking at me.
They were all looking at me.
Eyebrow, they were probably wanting to help me.
They were probably wanting to help me.
Corner of the eye. But I interpreted it,
But I interpreted it,
that fight under the eye, that fight or flight response,
that fight or flight response,
under the nose, that I can't do this.
that I can't do this.
Chin point. I couldn't remember the words.
I couldn't remember the words.
Collarbone. I felt like I was a blob.
I felt like I was a blob.
Under the arm. I felt like I was a failure. Is that right?
Yeah, I felt like I was a failure.
Top of the head. I felt like I was a failure.
I felt like I was a failure.
Eyebrow. I felt like I wasn't like them.
I felt like I wasn't like them.
Corner of the eye. I couldn't remember the words.
I couldn't remember the words.
Under the eye. Fight or flight response was happening.
Fight or flight response was happening.
So of course I couldn't remember the words.
So of course I couldn't remember the words.
Under the nose. So I just have to get rid of this fight or flight response.
So I just have to get rid of this fight or flight response.
Chin point. Feeling like a blob.
Feeling like a blob.
Collarbone, like I can't remember the words.
Like I can't remember the words.
And all their eyes looking at me.
And all their eyes looking at me.
It felt like they were judging me.
It felt like they were judging me.
That was my interpretation.
That was my interpretation.
But they were probably wanting to help me.
But they were probably wanting to help me.
Under the arm. That fight or flight response that made me forget the words.
That fight or flight response that made me forget the words.
That pressure in my heart.
That pressure in my heart.
And the sweating of my hands.
And the sweating of my hands.
It was all just the fight or flight response.
It was all just the fight or flight response.
Good. Take a deep breath. What's happening now? Did any of the words I say land more heavily than others? Like I feel like a failure, or
Probably all of them. But I just noticed that my arm is not hurting.
which
Well, I had the I forgot what it was called. The frozen shoulder. And
So that was when you were frozen. You were not just fight or flight. You were in freeze mode. Frozen, not being able to remember the words.
yeah.
So it was your right shoulder. Moving again now.
And that happened a couple of years ago.
Mm-hmm.
This has only been 6 months. It's still there, but I couldn't do, well, I was doing it, but under strain, under duress. I was doing the underarm point.
Mm-hmm. So do you think that, like when you said at the start, that coming to another course that was similar to that course may have given you the same frozen shoulder symptom of freezing in space, in time and space?
It could be. It could be. Yeah. It could be.
So how's it feeling now?
It's feeling much better. It's feeling...
And when you imagine speaking in front of a group now and being able to tap beforehand to release the freeze, fight or flight response, does that feel a little more achievable?
Well, I'm feeling good right now. I'm good here. It does feel achievable. I suppose the test is you know,
Doing
actually,
it.
yeah, doing it.
So I suggest we do another session or
Okay.
practice with others.
Okay.
Doing some more around that,
Okay.
around the freeze response and releasing that, and looking at imagining in the future, doing a presentation or a speaking, and looking at all the aspects of their eyes looking at me,
Okay.
the aspect of feeling frozen, like I can't find the words, and the aspect of feeling like a failure or feeling judged, and
Okay.
seeing, so they're all different tabletops, and seeing what table legs are under it,
Okay.
specific
Yeah,
memories.
sounds good.
Okay?
Yeah.
Well done.
Thank you.
Speak to you next week. Except that was supposed to be a whole hour session. Hang up.